Welcome, listeners, to the Chris Talk Show, where we bring you the news and discuss a wide range of topics that matter to you. The show starts right now.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the show. All right, folks, let's get into these first episodes. Turn that down, man. Let's get into these first episodes. All right. Today's episode is about Alabama woman who Alabama woman who made up a kidnapping and is found guilty and plans to appeal, which I think is crazy. I don't know who in their right mind would sit there and do something that's foolish. Yeah, we gotta play this. Let's just play this. Cause man, this is alright, listen, I wanna let Sarah, my AI, take over because this sounds real foolish. I never heard of this one, but Sarah, take over.
Carly Russell, the Alabama woman who made up a story of seeing a toddler by the side of the road and then being kidnapped, was found guilty of misdemeanor counts Wednesday and plans to appeal. A court official said. Hoover Municipal Judge Brad Bishop found Russell guilty of 2 counts related to the July hoax. Municipal Court Director Susan Fuqua said. Russell, who has admitted that she lied about the kidnapping and the toddler, pleaded not guilty Wednesday in court. She said. Her attorneys stipulated an appeal before the verdict. Fuqua said. The case will now go before Bessemer Circuit Court in Jefferson County. She has apologized for what transpired. Russell's attorney, Emery Anthony, told reporters Wednesday. Anthony said that jail time was being sought, which we totally disagree with, and that with the appeal, the case will start anew in circuit court. NBC affiliate WVTM of Birmingham reported. Anthony told NBC News later that Russell's legal team disagreed with the plea offer and appealed it to the circuit court. WVTM reported that the judge's decision was procedural, because a verdict is necessary for an appeal that takes it to that state court. On July 13, Russell reported seeing a toddler in a diaper on the side of an interstate as she drove in Hoover, a city of around 92,000 south of Birmingham. She then disappeared, and the large search for her captured national attention. She returned home 2 days later, on July 15, and said she'd been kidnapped and forced into an 18-wheeler. Little more than a week later, Russell said in a statement through her attorney that she lied about being kidnapped and had never seen a toddler. She was charged in July with misdemeanor counts of false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting an incident. Russell is free on bond. The sentence in municipal court was restitution of $17,974 and 120 days in jail on each of the 2 charges. Fuqua said. Her attorneys have requested a jury trial in the appeal to state court.
Wow. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This lady right here is first of all, did I welcome everybody? Yes, I did. Okay. I'm gonna dive right into this one right here. Let's pull up this lady's picture real quick. Put that on the big screen for me, please. Oh, wow. Impressive. But lady, you are crazy. Straight up. This lady, and she looks very, very, do they mention her age? She looks really young. I don't know. I have the slightest idea why this woman would do something like this. And oh yeah, for y'all who don't know, this is the part of the show where I give you my view and my opinion. But I have no idea why this young woman would do something like this to fake a kidnapping of her and some make-believe baby. This is crazy. This is bugged out. I don't like to say the word crazy, but that's what this is. This is unbelievable. Because, ladies and gentlemen, to all my listeners, let me tell you something. You have to understand, all right? You have to understand what goes into searching for someone. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand the amount, like seriously, the amount, just the amount of work, the amount of people that have to come around to search for somebody, the amount of overtime that people have to put in. Like, yo, people, y'all gotta, man, you just gotta understand how much effort goes into that, to searching for somebody. Okay? And then you gotta understand how much money goes into that, just for searching for somebody. So this girl, her having to give, what was the amount? Scroll down real quick so I can see the amount that she had to give back. Because that probably wasn't even enough. 17,000? Yeah, $17,949. Really? Really? I think she should pay back more than that. I think she should pay back way more than that. And I think, and this is just my opinion, y'all, I think that she should serve some type of time. I mean, come on, people. You have to think about how many people actually go missing in just not the world, just the United States. And if that's too big for you, you could just think about your own county. You could think about the county that you live in. Just think about how many people disappear a year. Just people. We're not even talking about, if we want to go to the sex, you can go to how many women disappear a year. Okay? How many children disappear a year. Okay? And the money, the amount of money and time that's spent on finding these children or finding these people. Let me say that. Find these people. And when you're talking about a baby, I mean, come on. Yes. Can we pull up the dummy buzzer? Can we buzz her? Because it's like,
Bruh.
for real, what are you doing? Lady, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you have to ask the question, what is wrong with this woman's mental? For her to do something like that, what is wrong with her? What is going on within that household that she had to come to what's the word I'm looking for? Ed, help me out. Oh, Ed, I ain't even say what's up to you. Let's say what's up to Silent Ed here. What's up, Silent Ed? I ain't even say what's up to you. But what's the word I'm looking for here? What just gave her the audacity to do it? But it's just like, what is going on within that home? It makes you think, what's going on in there that made her want to do something like this to get this type of attention? Because I think this is an attention seeker right here. This is just my opinion, y'all. I think this has to do something with attention. Probably. It could be a loss. She could have, I don't know. I just think it's something going on in that household, and maybe a psychic evaluation is needed. Maybe that's what's needed. I don't know. I have no idea. But in my opinion, it should be needed, because this girl faked that she got kidnapped and then faked that there was a child involved. Now you gotta think about the people who actually get kidnapped. A lot of people who are kidnapped, and ladies and gentlemen, you could. I've done the statistics, so you could do the statistics yourself if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So, this company has done well. This channel. I mean, I say this company. We ain't a company yet. We almost there, but this channel has done the research, and there are thousands of people, and I'm not talking about male, female, children. I'm just talking about people in general. Okay, just people in general. There are thousands, and some in the tens and hundreds of thousands of people who go missing every year. And this girl decided that she wanted to fake it, man. Does that make any sense? Or does that say to you, like, yo, this mother got a problem, man, and a serious one, a very, very serious one. She needs to be locked up. In my opinion, yeah, she needs to be locked up. You know what I mean? She needs to be locked up. Yeah, she definitely needs to be locked up. And she needs to pay more of a fine than she's getting, because you had to, like, yo, if that was somebody else, I mean, and let me take that back. Let me take that back real quick. It doesn't matter who it is. It's just foolish to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I know what some of y'all are probably thinking of saying, oh, this is probably like some type of sickness or illness. And I understand, because I know some women, they make up, some people, let me not say women, some people, I forgot the name of the condition, but I know they do make up stuff and do stuff to themselves just for attention. And maybe this girl is probably suffering from that. I got to find the name of that condition. I got to find it. But maybe this girl is suffering from that condition. And if that's the case, then maybe she needs some help. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she don't need to be locked up. But at the same time, she need to be locked up. Okay? That's costing taxpayers money and police officers time. People time, volunteers time. There's people who come and volunteer to search for kids, and 9 times out of 10, this woman was giving them a description of a kid. So they are sitting there looking for a kid. They don't even know what the kid looked like, really. Well, based off of her description, they know what it looked like, but they don't really know what they're looking for. They're looking for a ghost. They're looking for somebody who does not exist. Imagine you doing that, looking for something or somebody who does not exist, based off of something that somebody told you. You don't think they should? Come on, man. Come on, let's be honest. You don't think that there should be something criminally behind that, and they don't exerted your resources? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. But yeah, this woman should definitely get some type of time. Community service is not good enough. Something has to be, something more has to be done. That's my view. That's my opinion. I want to thank y'all for that. All right. So, before we get into the next story. All right. So, let's pay these bills before we get into the next story, y'all. All right. So, let's do it. Here we go. If you like this content and want to hear more of it, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. Also, feel free to leave a comment at the end of the show. Check us out on our other platforms. We're on YouTube at Chris Talk Show 1190. We're also on Instagram at Chris Talks 40 and on Facebook at Chris Talks, where we post up motivational and spiritual content to help you through your day. Hope to see you on all these platforms. All right, bills paid, y'all. So let's get into the second story. All right, so let's check this out. The second story. Oh wow, I forgot to tell y'all. Okay, so well, y'all heard what that first story brought us to. So second story is in North Carolina. Transgender residents in North Carolina filed lawsuit charges against the state restrictions. This is a bugged out one, y'all. I don't. You see, Ed, I don't like when you bring me these the gender blenders, man. I don't like the gender blenders. I keep telling Ed all the time that I don't like the gender blenders. I don't like to do the Alphabet City reports, but he insists. So, you know, like. All right, let's get into this report. I don't know. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna let Sarah AI take over, and let's do what we do, y'all. All right, hit it.
Transgender residents of North Carolina and Montana added Wednesday to a growing list of lawsuits challenging the recent onslaught of Republican state laws aimed at transgender individuals. The family of a transgender boy in North Carolina is suing state health officials to block implementation of gender-affirming care restrictions that they say will force their son to undergo a traumatic wrong gender puberty. A federal lawsuit filed Wednesday in U.S. District Court alleges the new North Carolina law violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment by denying treatment access to transgender youths and undercuts parents' rights to make medical decisions for their children. In Montana State Court, transgender, non-binary, intersex and other plaintiffs are challenging a new state law defining the term sex as meaning only male or female, which they argue denies legal recognition and protections to people who are gender nonconforming. The complaint argues the law violates the plaintiffs' constitutional rights to equal protection, individual privacy and freedom of speech and expression. Kansas and Tennessee have similar laws. People who are intersex are born with genitalia, reproductive organs, chromosomes or hormone levels that don't fit typical definitions for male or female. The North Carolina lawsuit closely follows the playbook of other successful court challenges to gender-affirming care bans that have swept Republican-controlled states this year. At least 22 states have enacted laws restricting or banning common treatments for transgender minors. And legal challenges have delivered mixed results. But court victories in states like Arkansas, where a federal judge struck down a state ban as unconstitutional, mapped out what Lambda legal attorney Omar Gonzalez-Pagan views as a winning strategy for North Carolina plaintiffs. Transgender youth in the Tar Heel state immediately lost access to gender-affirming medical treatments on August 16 when Republican supermajorities in the General Assembly overrode a veto of the ban by the Democratic governor. State law now bars medical professionals from providing hormone therapy, puberty-blocking drugs and surgical gender transition procedures to anyone under 18. With limited exceptions, minors who had begun a course of treatment before August 1 are able to continue receiving that care under the new law if their doctors deem it medically necessary and their parents consent. But providers say it remains unclear whether they could face retribution for transitioning a minor patient from puberty-blocking drugs to cross-sex hormones because the law does not specify whether that would constitute a different course of treatment. Representatives from Lambda Legal and the National Health Law Program say they also plan to file a motion for a preliminary injunction to block enforcement of the law while the court challenge proceeds. Other plaintiffs include a North Carolina family physician who serves transgender patients and several local and national LGBTQ+ advocacy organizations. The family of the 9-year-old transgender boy is listed pseudonymously to protect their privacy. Attorneys said, the complaint alleges the law discriminates against transgender patients because it does not create a blanket ban on hormone therapies and other treatments. but rather prohibits them only when performed for the purpose of gender transition. There is not one treatment that is offered to transgender patients in North Carolina that is not also offered to the rest of the patients in their care. And yet that very same care would remain perfectly legal for all other patients, said Alex Sheldon, Executive Director of GLMA, Health Professionals Advancing LGBTQ Equality, an organization involved in the lawsuit. The offices of Republican General Assembly leaders did not immediately respond to emails seeking comment. Jean Fisher Brinkley, a spokesperson for the North Carolina Medical Board, declined a request for comment. Board CEO Thomas Mansfield is named as a defendant for his role overseeing licensing for medical professionals in the state. The lawsuit filed in Montana State Court similarly alleges the new state law redefining sex creates a potential for discrimination. The suit says the law requires the plaintiffs to misrepresent themselves or reveal private medical information when applying for a driver's license or marriage license. The law also ignores the Native American cultural significance of Two-Spirit people. According to the complaint, Two-Spirit is an umbrella term that refers to different and tribally distinct genders and gender roles that defy the binary concept of gender. The complaint states, the lawsuit names Republican Gov. Greg Gianforte and Republican Attorney General Austin Knudsen as defendants. The state had not yet been served with the lawsuit. Emily Flower, spokeswoman for Knudsen, said Wednesday when asked for a comment. The national debate over transgender rights came to a head this year in Montana when a group of state legislators deliberately misgendered transgender lawmaker Zoe Zephyr and called for the Democrat to be disciplined for chastising Republicans who supported a ban on gender-affirming medical care for minors. The state's gender-affirming care law is temporarily on hold. North Carolina law prohibits using state funds to support the provision of gender-affirming care. This prohibition excludes the North Carolina State Health Plan for government employees and their families, which is under a court order to cover those procedures while a federal appeals court considers a related case. Medical professionals like Dr. Riley Smith, the physician who is a plaintiff in the lawsuit filed Wednesday, would have their licenses revoked if they violate the law. Families of minor patients who receive the banned treatments would also have a right to sue the doctors who perform those procedures. Smith said the law interferes with his ability to follow evidence-based protocols at the expense of his most vulnerable patients. Gender-affirming care is considered safe and medically necessary by the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Medical Association, and the Endocrine Society. While trans minors very rarely receive surgical interventions, they are commonly prescribed drugs to delay puberty and sometimes begin taking hormones before reaching adulthood. Proponents of the North Carolina law, such as Tammy Fitzgerald, executive director of the conservative North Carolina Values Coalition, said Wednesday that the lawsuit constitutes an attack on the people of North Carolina who have passed a law protecting children from procedures she warned could cause a lifetime of medical and mental problems. Hansen reported from Helena, Montana. Schoenbaum is a core member for the Associated Press, Report for America State House News Initiative. Report for America is a nonprofit national service program that places journalists in local newsrooms to report on undercovered issues.
All right, let's break down this story real quick. All right, so again, this story brings us to North Carolina, where transgender residents in North Carolina filed a lawsuit challenging new state regulations. Now, listen, I mean, folks, let's be real sensible about this. I mean, you could say this is about the regulations, okay, but the family that's filing suit. Now, when you really listen to the story, it's a kid. I mean, they throwing all this other junk in it, and I ain't, like I said, I don't have nothing against Alphabet City, okay? All right, I got members of my family that's part of the Alphabet City. I don't have nothing against y'all. I don't have nothing against the Alphabet community, but this is part of that. You're going like too damn far. I mean, like, yo, what the? Like serious. What the? It's like
Bruh.
for real.
Bruh.
Yeah. Cause it's what are y'all doing? This community, what are y'all doing? There has been a law, and that's what this is all about. That's basically what it's all about. Is them setting a law in place to where you are not allowed to castrate and massacre goddamn kids. You're not allowed to do that. They set up a law in place that prevents that, and y'all get mad. It's like, what the is going on? What's the point? What are you getting mad about? Because some young child or some group of kids want to transition before this age. Now, the reason why I don't understand why the people are getting mad is because, listen, they not saying you cannot do it. They're just saying you have to be of a certain age. Now, folks, I don't understand. What's the problem with this? I don't understand. I do not understand. Like, can anybody tell me? Like, Ed. What's the problem? You can't freaking buy cigarettes before you 18, but you could go out and how do we say it? So we don't offend nobody, okay? Because we don't want to offend nobody.
Bruh.
No, we don't. We're going to allow our children to take on these type of transitions. That's the correct word, right, Ed? Yes, that's the correct word. We're going to allow them to take on these transitions and things of this nature while they're in a single, not even a double digit, not even a teenager, single digit. We're going to allow this. But these are the same children. They can't buy cigarettes. They can't buy alcohol. They can't go to clubs. They can't do none of these things at all. But we will sit there. Some of us, not me, will sit there. Some Americans will sit there and argue that they have the freedom to make the decision if they want to be a boy or a girl. And this is because, in my opinion, in my view, please understand that this is only my opinion and my view. Okay? In my opinion and my view, because they feel like a girl or a boy. And this is allowed. This is allowed. This type of thing is allowed. Now, to me, I mean, most people know my views and my opinion on this type of thing. At such a young age, no. They are still trying to push this thing and trying, in my opinion, and trying to bring so many other things into this when this thing has went through a federal. Come on. These are the things that y'all put in place. So this law was put in place, and now you're filing a lawsuit against the law that was voted and put in place. Now, that's what I'm saying. Most laws are voted and put into place. They are voted into place. So these are a jury, a member of your peers Sorry, I said jury. Yeah, no, yeah, that was a error. So, of your peers that voted this into law to protect minor children, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to see the content and all the stuff that they're trying to push out there on the American youth, just on the American youth. And it's kind of bugged out. It's crazy. And I'm not saying that I don't want to say that it's a bad thing, but it is a bad thing. I think if you are in that group, then maybe. If you're in that group, then okay. If you're not in that group, then it's a completely bad thing. Nobody should be trying to push anything or anybody that they don't want at all in any situation, should that happen. These people, these non-melanin, because these are a bunch of non-melanin people, are sitting there protesting. And you have to see this sign. The sign says, quote unquote, trans kids are loved. Now, nobody's saying trans kids are not loved. They are. They are. What we're trying to say is they shouldn't be getting those operations or type of surgeries at such a young age. So, North Carolina, let's give it up to them real quick. Let's give this, what is it, the DA? The Republicans, whatever. Let's give it up. Let's just give it up for them. Who did that? What's that? North Carolina, on 30 up. Who did that song? Yeah, PD. Yeah, that's right. PD Pablo. North Carolina. I'm about to listen to that when I get out of this. When I leave here. Sorry, y'all. I diverted off a little bit. My bag. But let's get back to the story. Yes, North Carolina. Applause again. And kudos to you guys for doing what you did. Because to set a law to make sure that this type of thing does not happen, it needs the consent of a parent or whatever at least the age of, is it at least the age of 16? Yeah. So this was at least the age of 16. So okay, so this was a whole list. On a list, one of the youngest ones was 9 years old. Okay, kid, come on. And they're saying, okay, if this kid wants to make that decision, all right, we're not against it, but wait till he get 18. Or at least 16. At least till he get old enough. And I don't see no problem with that. I don't see no problem with that. At all. I think that's fair. I don't see anybody that should disagree with that. If you disagree with that, I don't know what to say to you. All right, check it out. We do have a comment for this particular story. So let's check it out. Let's check out this comment. If this comes from one of our, if the child is truly a transgender, they're waiting to make the personal transformation and decision at the age of 18 should not be an issue. Yes. Yes. Smack him. Because that's what I just said. It shouldn't be an issue. Listen, it should not be an issue. If this child is really, if this person is really growing into that and they think that that's something that they want to do, and it's at the appropriate age, which I think should probably be between the ages of 16 and 18. I mean, 16 would parents consider the son like that? Because you get a tattoo at 16 as long as your mom signed for it, your dad signed for it. You know what I mean? But If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Leave it in the comments and let me know. But at least at age 18, I think is valid because you don't need your parents' consent. At that point, you could do whatever you want. That's what I'm saying. So why are these people? That's what I'm saying. These non-melanin people, boy, they're crazy. They're bugged out. Okay, let's continue the time. Why is there such? Hold on, I can't see it. Can you bring that up on the big screen? All right, that big screen there. Yeah, thank you. It says, why is there such a rush to put little kids on puberty blockers and perform surgeries? That's what I'm saying. Why is there such a rush to put these children on puberty blockers and have to you know what I'm saying? Why is there a rush? If they so young, why can't they just wait? Why? Because I mean, can't you just wear like the clothes and stuff? Like can't they that's not funny yet, but can't they cross dress until then? Like I think they could do that until then, right? Yeah, that should be yeah. You could cross dress until then. Come on. As a matter of fact, you can probably be building up the money to get the surgery. That's not funny yet, but you could be building up the money to get the surgery while you're waiting. Like, what's the deal? But at 9 years old, 10 years old, 13 years old, 14 and 15 years old, no, I don't think this type of thing should be happening at that age. 16, 17, yes, you should probably sit down with your child, give them a little talk or something like that and see where their head is really at. If you feel like your child is really seriously into this or something like that, maybe it's something you should take them to the doctor and consider if you are that type of parent. Like I said, sometimes I speak on a two-headed coin. If you're that type of parent, I'm not trying to stop anybody from doing what they're doing, but if you're that type of parent, then go ahead. Me, maybe not. Maybe not. I might go in a different direction. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, 16, talk to them. 18, if it's something that they really want to do and it's something that they want to do and it's a decision that they want to make, I think at that point, they have become into their adulthood. So you should give them that and let them make whatever decision that they want to make. I mean, it's no different than somebody that is 20 or 25. You would still let them make their own decisions. You know what I mean? And that's my view, and that's my view, and that's my opinion on this particular story. All right. Thank you, Ed. That was very loud. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really? Non-melanin health can disappear, you know. It can. Anyway. And that's my view, in my opinion, on that story. I mean, I think we should have the freedom and the right to do what we want. But at the same time, we need to have the knowledge and the wisdom to make the right decision and to be educated in what we're doing. Because a lot of people who have have made that transition have not liked it. And some of them want to turn back. Some of them don't. Some of them do. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I have nothing against the Alphabet City, man. Nothing against them, all right? Let's get up out of here, man. Let's get up out of here. All right, people. Peace out, you guys. I want to thank all my listeners for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. Also, stay blessed and not stressed. Until next episode, peace.